All right, we're live. Perfect. And nothing has happened yet. That's okay. We have a good pre-show for you, if you will. We'll review a little bit of what happened this morning at the Classic Physique Division prejudging. Classic Physique Finals will be tonight, so we will get a conclusion there of what happened this morning. And then we'll talk a little bit about the matchups heading into this open prejudging. So tonight, the main things we're looking at are the Classic Physique Finals and then the Men's Open prejudging. So, let me share out a couple of things so that way it's all across social media that I am in fact live. Go ahead and like the stream, subscribe if you haven't already, and join the chat. I'd love to hear your thoughts. But as soon as I share this, we'll go ahead and get into it. Very interesting. I like how the Arnold movies, the clips, everything they have is always so much more interesting than the Olympia. Like this, even though I think there was like a good 60th video last year for the Olympia. Whatever they have on screen right now, I find pretty entertaining compared to whatever there was last Olympia, which is last year. I struggle in saying last year because it was just in 2024, but yeah, it was last year. Okay. UK plebeian here. When does the show start? I imagine it'll be fairly on time. I don't know the order of the events, though. Sometimes they bring out the men's open for individuals, then put them back, then get into the call-outs. I imagine since it's prejudging, we won't get anything like that. So we can go ahead and pull up the schedule. I actually thought it had started already, but let's see. Today's Friday. Yeah, so tonight we have wellness, fitness, classic, and men's. And I think the classic awards will probably be last. But yeah, you'll have to get through wellness and fitness, which there weren't too many girls there. And it runs really smooth. Oh, but you do have fitness routines, and those can take a little while. But I mean, it's fitness, so how many competitors are there? 7? 5? So I would imagine in do I say 90 minutes? I hope not. I hope I'm not here talking talking for 90 minutes waiting for open. I would say max 90 minutes, maybe an hour. We can only hope. But I'm not going to complain too much like I did with the Olympia. The Arnold it's a much better show. As a show, the Arnold is much better. Okay. Wellness and fitness. Yeah, I'll be back. Rip, but I appreciate your attendance. I'll be staying on the stream. Thanks, of course, Casey. Of course. What state are you in? Is that like a doxing attempt? I'm from the Midwest. Is William Martin's going to win? He was banned from competing as it would just be too much for the other contestants. Anyway, someday, hold on. Atheist Nihilist, one of my favorite commenters. Someday, someone will need to explain the differences between the various women's divisions to me. I literally can't understand. And I think if you take a look at the judging calls being made between these things, a lot of the women that even compete would be baffled. The problem is you have every single 10 pounds you can possibly go up covered by a division. And that's really weird because women automatically don't weigh as much as men. But then you have more categories for those minute weight differences. The thing about fitness is you at least get a routine. I know a lot of people, one of the most popular Olympic sports is gymnastics. It's very entertaining. So I think fitness is actually one of the more exciting women's divisions. I'd sooner watch that than most of it. It'd probably go bikini, then fitness. Probably fitness first, honestly. But yeah, other than the fitness with that distinct routine and that distinct difference, if you told me pick wellness criteria over physique or what, I couldn't. I simply couldn't. When does Classic Finals start? The specifics of the schedule are not known. The specifics are not known. But anyway, I don't think we need to watch a whole lot of this. Let's get into what happened this morning. And I think there was good video put out. I'll have to check Mike's tagged. Let's see. So, if you are just joining us for finals, maybe you didn't catch prejudging, maybe you know, for whatever reason. Okay. Let me find some good footage and let me get settled here. That's kind of laggy. There was some good footage I was looking at, but I don't think it really matters a whole lot. It was from this. These guys. These guys are pretty good. I saw them a little bit at the Olympia last year. Oh, this is Mike Sommerfeld and Wesley. Okay. But anyway, I'll go back to some actual footage and stop messing around here. Anyway, this came down to a two-man race, and not the two-man race people were expecting. They were expecting Wesley Vissers, the reigning Arnold Classic, defending Arnold Classic champion from last year, to beat Mike Sommerfeld. You know, and last year, Wesley beat everyone in the entire division. That puts him, with the people he beat, he was ahead of everyone else in the division besides Chris Bumstead. And Mike was second last year. Wesley dropped the ball at the Olympia, but Mike was second at the Olympia. So it stands to reason that both of these guys would be a force to be reckoned with and would probably go 1 and 2. Mike was on, and we could talk a little bit more about his physique and how it differed from the Olympia, but Wesley was off. More like his Olympia package than his Arnold package. I don't really want to get into the specifics of if the Olympia package was worse or whatnot, but let's make no mistake about it. Wesley could not afford to come in like the Olympia package, and he did exactly that. And he's looking at maybe a 6th place spot, maybe 5th, probably 5th. He's going to be as low as 6th, and 5th is the ceiling, unless he pulls off a miracle here at finals. And yeah, he was sick going into but that's part of it. That is part of it. So Wesley's out. Logan, on the other hand, was on. And he surpassed Matt Grego. He surpassed, who else was it? Michael DeBull, Jae Hoon Bang. Let's see. Matt Grego. Yeah, and then he's fighting with Mike Sommerfeld. Imagine that. And I don't want to say it's close, but, you know, with an apples and oranges comparison, you do you do get people going with apples, or, in this case, Logan. I think Mike is certainly going to win. I think he's more complete. There's less flaws, less gaps, less nitpicks. But Logan, when he's on, is actually very good. More classic. I know that's subjective, but I think... I don't know. I think if you do want to try to be objective, I think Logan is probably more classic. Does anyone look more like Arnold than him? I don't really think so. She's literally doing flips. How is this bodybuilding? Okay. As a gymnast, fitness is the only women's division I would spend more than a microsecond watching. I agree. Not as a gymnast, but as someone who likes to be entertained. But anyway, so yeah, this is our top 2. But let's jump back and let's actually take a look at Wesley. I think Gilco has that one out. Gilco doesn't have everybody's routine out, but Wesley's is one of them. On his own, he was fine, but when I saw him in the lineup, it was pretty obvious that he had lost a little bit of that leg volume. And when you guys told me in chat that he was sick, I could kind of tell. Just a little bit tired looking, didn't have the fullness, and things... Well, when I say things, the entire rear double pose is still a mess. The posing sucks. He has no ass. He has no hamstrings. The back is very poor comparatively. You have guys like Michael DeBull, even Mike Sommerfeld just obliterating him in the back pose. And, his strong shots like the front double and side chest have been better. So, overall, it's a recipe for that. Like, you can look. Who's in charge of this dude's training? If it's himself, he should consider hiring someone else, because there's almost little difference between last year's Arnold, and this year's Arnold. And the thing is, it's a weak point. It's not like he should have minor improvements. There should be a major overhaul here. He looks like he's never deadlifted in his life. So, there's that. But yeah. It's not looking good for Wesley. And I said this last year. I said he barely beat an off Ramon Dino. It was a 6 and 7 point decision. And I knew that wouldn't hold up at the Olympia. I predicted him in 3rd. But I knew it wouldn't hold up at the Olympia. Meaning when people are saying he's gonna push Chris. That's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I knew it wouldn't happen. But even I was wrong. I had him placing 3rd. He ended up in 8th at the Olympia. And then now he's getting surpassed by guys like Logan, who were 13th, and Matt, which was somewhere above that. But he's somehow gone backwards yet again. Yet again. Boss of Outlaw coaches him. Yeah, that's right. I don't know how much he does the training, though. But maybe he does, in which case, something's got to change. Stefan Kinsel, his coach, yeah, he coaches like half the IPB. I think he should change. It's just so crazy, like, the bot behavior here. You have one guy you have like 1 or 2 guys. I think Wesley was like the first to use Boss of Outlaw and use his services. And yeah, it turned out great. And then I think Martin did, and then, he had a great career. And then everyone hopped on the train. From Hani Rambod retiring to Matt Jansen retiring, everyone went to Boss of Outlaw. I can't remember one time this year, besides Derek Lunsford, where someone said, I'm leaving my coach, and then their announcement that followed was not, I'm going to Boss of Outlaw. And in Derek's case, he went to Chris Aceto, but again, that's the only one I can think of. The only one. I'm sure there are like other examples I'm forgetting, but it's no joke. Everyone, like half of the people that are names in the sport are literally coached by this one guy. And that it's a house of cards. You can't give that individual attention. I don't care how good of a coach you are. If you have so many high profile athletes, someone is not gonna get the attention, or everyone gets less attention. And some guys need a lot more attention than others. Some guys don't need much attention at all. But anyway, that's Wesley. he somehow regressed. He was even worse this time around. I don't think anything at finals he can do is going to help. I think a better final showing would maybe push him to fifth. Probably not fourth. So he went from winning the show to being fifth, and he's getting beat by pretty much everyone that beat him last year. That's somebody. Okay. And not too many of the other guys. Matt Grego's the other guy I wanted to talk about. He did very well here. We'll check the tagged, of course. Yeah, this will be good. Here's some photos. The conditioning, I find that Matt's conditioning is good pretty much always from the front, but yeah, from the back, he just needs to be a little bit tighter. He still has the lines in the glutes, yeah, and the hamstrings are cut, but compare him to like Logan Franklin, he could be in sharper condition for sure. I think some posing things on Matt were fixed, some needed to still be changed. The back was still not up to snuff, but very classic, very big. He has the frame, he has the shape, so he did very well here, and he's going to end up placing very well. It looks like he'll probably be fourth behind De Bull. Yeah, because Matt finished in the middle of that second to last call out with Ji-hoon, Wesley, Michael, and Matt. And Matt and Michael finished in the middle. So maybe that can flip around. I would imagine they go with Michael just because he has a much better back and is more overall conditioned. But I can see them going with Matt for third just because he's a lot more classic. And they probably would want to reward this type of shape. Okay. Nick went to Kyle Wilkes. Okay, that is true. That's another one. That's another one I forgot. I don't understand the logistics. How does one coach have time for 60 top athletes? Exactly. How does that even work? Here's a little footage. Okay, I don't want this dude's analysis. I'm cool off that. Here's a little bit of the prejudging. It's only, a 9x16 angle, but you can just see here, Mike also should probably fix this posing. He pushes the glutes out, right? And with that, I think he's losing a lot of adductors and ham thickness, which he doesn't have. He is like Wesley in that regard. He doesn't have the most beefy hams and adductors. So they share that weakness, but look at the difference in the legs here. And take into consideration, Mike's quads are great, but the hams and glutes and adductors could be better. And even still, Wesley he looks like a praying mantis. He looks like a walking he looks like a walking stick. It's unbelievable how someone has this little development in the glutes and hamstrings. I'm maybe this is a little harsh, but that's a big difference. That's insane. That's insane. Andrew Jack absolutely destroys low def data. Brad, good to see you, of course, as always. Let's check back in with the fitness. Okay, they're still doing routines, of course. My stream may have not. Let me make sure my stream's up to date. Okay, no, it wasn't. Okay, but anyway. And then even the back, like Mike's back is just so much thicker, and the lower back, he actually has one compared. Wesley's wide, has the good arms and delts, but yeah. His back could be 3 times as good as it is now, and I would still give Mike the pose because of Wesley's piss poor lower body. And you have to think, Michael De Bull beat him in this pose. Logan Franklin beat him in this pose. Ji-hoon probably beat him in this pose. I think I'm pronouncing that right. It's Jihoon. Ji-hoon. And then also the abs, not very good. The rib cage bugs me in the vacuum. Wesley just has some weak points. And this is another reason I said he wasn't going to do that good post-Arnold 2024. It's because when you put him against on-Olympia competitors, Olympia contenders, you'll realize how flawed Wesley is. I missed the last live, but I listened to it with some headphones. Oh, I appreciate it. I love Wesley, but he's out here looking like a pogo stick. So true. And then we have another good comparison. I don't know how long this video goes on for, but this kind of shows what's topping now, which is Mike, versus what could be the future versus Matt. Look at the structure on Matt. Good midsection, great taper, great legs. I like how he's closing his forearms more on this pose. You know, he's closing the angle of the arms more. But they're still like uneven, and he didn't really do the twist in the torso, so I don't think it's 100% on purpose. I'd still like him to do something different with the pose. But the elements on their own, very good. Very good. He has some things that he can fix, but I don't know. I don't want to say Olympia potential, but he has very high placing potential for sure. Good thickness in the side chest. Again, this pose needs fixed. He doesn't need to be that opened up. You know, he's not big Rami level thick. He doesn't need to be that opened up. He needs to be a little more closed off, actually. You're not exposing a great midsection, so what are we opening up for? Stay a little more upright, stack everything like Mike is, and you'll look a lot thicker. But yeah, Mike does kind of win everything here. Good start for Matt Grego, though. Not that this is a start, but, you know, it's a good foundation to have. Open is coming soon. Probably not soon, but it's coming tonight. And then the back, yeah, this is where Matt really needs to step up his game. He needs everything, really. The upper back really isn't that good, although it's the highlight. The lats need a lot more thickened up. He needs more width, and that's probably not going to happen just structurally. He has a small back genetically, but any improvement would be an improvement. He continues to improve it, but he needs more to improve it. And the lower body needs to be sharper. A little more dry. Okay, and then the abs and thighs on Mike, it's actually... Mike has a better overall abs and thighs pose than Chris Bumstead. Hear me out. Chris Bumstead's abs and thighs, the actual crunched abs, was not that good. The vacuum did all the heavy lifting. Mike can do a vacuum. It's not like stellar. I would say it's better than what Chris's crunched abs were, but Mike's actual flexed abs and thighs is great. And to me, even in classic, I'll take a superior crunched abs and thighs over a vacuum. I still want to see that development. You can still win with just a vacuum, but Mike can do both, and he has a better average across both than Chris. Don't hate me. Don't hate me. Just is what it is. And Matt is really only rocking the vacuum right now. I don't like his abs and thighs. Yeah. And then, very good front lat spread on Matt. He should probably just stick in that, because I don't like that one arm pose, because he just can't flex his arms properly. Like, why do you keep them so open? It's so odd. Yeah, but that's that. For Mike himself, I think this was on par with the Olympia version. I don't want to say better. I think the Olympia version was better, but I did look at some side-by-side comparison. The Arnold Classic seems to be a bit fuller, a little less tight, a little less dry. But some people are going to like that look. It's a very close margin here, so he's definitely on that same vein in Wesley's case. I said that leading up in my pre-show analysis. I said Wesley can be his absolute best and Mike can be a little worse, and it's still going to end poorly for Wesley. And Wesley had no room to lose, and sure enough, he's just one of those physiques that if he slips a little, he's going to slip a lot. But let's see here. Here's some of Logan from this morning. I honestly, I like getting some, not backstage, some in-audience footage as well. I think you can see things that you don't see in a head-on video like from Gilco or whatever. Yeah, he came in very sharp very sharp, but also full. This was a good peak, an overall very good peak. I don't think he's made a lot of improvements since the last time he was at the Arnold, which, guys, that was back in 2021, so 4 years. But like from year to year, he hasn't made like the most drastic improvements, but small improvements over time plus a very good peak equaled what looks like second place at this show. So very good. Oh, here's a little footage of Wesley at the Arnold's 2024 versus 2025. Outside of the legs, it's just that upper body, that oomph. It's just missing. You know, like I said, I can tell he was sick. He looks like it. I'm interested to see how much the back pose has improved, though. Yeah. I guess that's technically some improvement. That really puts into perspective how bad the glutes and hams were at last year's show. Somehow they're more developed, but still very, very poor. That's yeah. It also says a lot about the competition because this over here on the left was a winning package. This over here on the right may not even be top 5. So let me go back to the stream. Let me refresh and let me check in what's going on. And then we'll get back to it. I just want to see where they're at. All right, still routines. I'm surprised the Arnold hasn't just axed every women's division, honestly. But anyway, let's get back to that call out between Mike and Logan. We'll finish up there in Classic, and then we'll talk about Open, because there's a lot to talk about for sure. Yeah, I prefer where they're on. Well, we looked at that. Let's, oh, I think Superset Man has a video on it. Big fan of Superset Man. Of course, aren't we all? But, here we go. So this is both of their Gilco production videos from the individual routine section of the prejudging. Overall, yeah, Logan is probably a bit drier. You know, he has the more etched in glutes, things like that, the thinner skin. But like I said, he has a little bit more nitpicks, you know. It's like, and it's little things like, I don't like the shape to his quads. His hips are kind of wide. The obliques are a little wide. He's not as filled in and as dense as Mike. I just feel that Mike is better, well-rounded overall. How many more losses until Derek or Hottie retires? Hottie, I fear that one is close. I honestly fear that one is close. I don't, because he may be out of the top 3 this year. Depending on like what we see tonight from Derek, maybe the top 4 becomes Hottie, Samson, Derek, Martin. Nick and Andrew are apples and oranges, and they're on the outside in 5th and 6th. Maybe Nick shows up at Pittsburgh so bad that he's relegated to an 8th place spot. So yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, so Logan's different body parts don't flow together as well as Mike's, but he's so incredibly sharp. Yeah, I think that's what I'm trying to quantify here. Let's see. In my opinion, Logan and Mike is like Frank Zane versus Tom Platz in the sense of much thicker, bigger athlete and more refined, leaner one. That's what I was saying too. I said earlier, I'm drafting a video right now, my classic analysis that'll be out maybe tonight, tomorrow morning. I started with the Logan, with the Arnold versus Columbo comparison, because, you know, that's just the obvious one. But the more I looked, the more I realized Logan is more like a bigger legged wider hipped Frank Zane. Yeah, he just doesn't have that the mass that Arnold did comparatively even. But he does have like when he's on, like he kind of reminds you a lot of Frank Zane. Maybe it's the hair too. And then yeah, I can see the Platts Mike comparisons. But here in the front double, I think this is one shot you probably could give to Logan. I probably would. I know he I don't like the shape of his legs. Mike probably wins. Logan's midsection, I'd say Mike's is prettier. Logan wins the lats, better peak on the biceps, but Mike has fuller arms, so I don't know. Okay, but let's continue through these poses. The side chest is one that you surprisingly would think would have to go to Logan, but Mike is bigger in the side leg, even though Logan is very shredded, very good. And then up top, Logan just doesn't have the thickest pecs at all. It's very interesting. I could have swore he had thicker pecs, but he just doesn't. And Mike is more detailed, more dense. This is actually a very easy one for him. That one, the first one was a toss-up, but that one's an easy one for him. And then in the back, I know some people will pick Logan because he's more detailed. More detailed in the back, more detailed in the lower body. I would give him the lower body straight up. In the back, I think with Mike's superior thickness, density, width, overall there's just a more developed back there. Maybe not a more detailed one, but he's detailed enough that, the development just actually wins him the pose. I would give it to him, but Logan makes a small case for himself. I don't necessarily think it's a large one because I don't subscribe to that theory that detail is better than thickness, but there's one there. Let's just keep it at that. I would give it to Mike, though, pretty easily. And then we have abs and thighs. Logan's good, but Mike is more symmetrical. I don't like Logan's bigger obliques. I don't like the shape to his legs, and Mike has the vacuum. Logan didn't pull a vacuum in the abs and thighs during the comparisons. I don't think he wants to do one. Mike, although it's not the best, it's something, plus a good abs and thigh shot, that wins him the pose. And then the classic pose, I actually like Logan's specifically. I don't know if it'll show it here when he does the twisting rear double shot. It's one of the most iconic shots ever. If you can pull it off, great. Chris Bumstead, Arnold, a lot of others. I don't want to say a lot of others. A few others have done it correctly. But when he does it, it's very good. I would actually say he's a better poser than Mike. This is a hot take as well. I'm not going to say he's better objectively. I like Logan's posing more than Terrence Ruffin's overall. Terrence Ruffin, I really like his Survivor routine from, he's done it a couple times. But I'm a big fan of Logan's overall posing style. And I believe they're giving out a Best Poser award tonight at the Classic Physique division. So I imagine he'll win that. Especially since he's probably not going to win the overall title. I imagine he'll win Best Poser. Let's check back in with the stream. Okay, this is not fitness anymore. This is wellness. So we're getting somewhere? Or maybe, no, it definitely is. It definitely is. What's the other one tonight? Wellness. Friday Night Final, so it doesn't list it. I would say this is the other women's division that's not fitness tonight. So we're moving somewhere. Okay. So I would ask you guys in the poll who you guys have winning, but I don't think it's just that important. I gotta be honest. I would give Mike a 85% chance of winning today. And the only reason they would probably give it to Logan is because he looks like Arnold at the Arnold Classic, but I think Mike looks very good. I wouldn't be surprised if they say, hey, they tell Logan backstage, the Olympia's wide open right now. You make some necessary size gains, some thickness, we'll give you a little bump at the Olympia. I know people don't want to admit that conversations like that happen, but it could be something. Maybe it's not as nefarious as that. Maybe it's just something as casual as, hey, we really like your look. If you can be even better for the Olympia, you'd stand a very good chance. They'll tell you if they want to reward a certain look. You know, we're not. I think we're all grown-ups here. At least I hope. So I think the look of Logan Franklin would be very good for the sport. Not that the look of Mike wouldn't be as well, but Logan is much more popular than Mike, and he has nowhere near the accolades of Mike. Mike's been top 10 at the Olympia multiple times. Now he's been runner-up, and how many followers he has? I know Logan has 1 million, and Mike doesn't even have half of that. So already Logan's physique is better for marketing. He is the All-American guy. You know, he's the Texas Oak. He's a veteran. He's got the physique look. I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, maybe he gets a little bit of a bump. His look gets a little bit of a bump at the Olympia, especially after a good showing here tonight. But here's some better pictures. Yeah, these are good. These are from the official Arnold. Yeah, very good. Overall, it wasn't as a big of a lineup as last year, not as deep as a lineup, but very, very good. Very good show. Very good show. I'm very happy looking forward to how it ends, I should say. Okay. Imagine if Derek got like 5th or something like that. That'd be pretty crazy. I love Logan's shape from the front, but the moment you see them between poses, he seems a little thin. Yeah, he just needs a little more density. A little more density. And this is why I said he was like 5th in my predictions. I counted him out. I still said he would be top 5, but no, I counted him out because I saw that he wasn't improving. And yeah, I don't think he did make massive improvements besides those to the peak. Like really, if you take a look at this between the Olympia, the main difference is just a little bit fullness and a little bit of separation, and Wesley dropped the ball, and Logan's getting a better comparison. He doesn't have to make his way through 50 other athletes to get to the top 15. He only has to make his way between 4 others, and he's automatically in the top 5. So the lineup changes anything as much as the individual guys in said lineup. But anyway, let's get into some open analysis. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything on the stream. Okay. Let's see here. I want to see what you guys are saying on the poll. You guys have Samson winning with 62%. Okay. Okay. I actually saw this very interesting post. I'm glad I saved it earlier. Is this Fernando Arroyo? No, it's not. Or maybe it is. No. Partially, maybe. But he put together this very nice graphic, which I do enjoy a lot. So you have different call-outs here, I think. Yes, very good. Very good. I wonder if I should start doing my comparisons like this. It's just, with Photoshop, you get into the weeds of, am I cutting a little bit of their lat off? Am I cutting off a little bit of their bicep? You know, I don't want to get into all that, and it would take too long, so I'm going to stick with photos, but there is an appeal to this. It looks nice. It's nice for an Instagram post, for sure. What you reckon Derek's chances of winning? Some say like 10%. I think his abs and thighs may just win against Samson. Oh, he's people won't want to admit it. His abs and thighs does beat Samson's. I have it pulled up here. This is at the Olympia. His abs to abs, okay, Samson probably wins. But where are the cuts in the quads? Quads go to Derek. Abs, not really good on either guy. I'd still give it to Samson. But because Derek has hit the actual abs and thighs, we can now consider the vacuum. Samson's vacuum is not that deep at all. And you can go back and look at the footage. This isn't a bad photo. He just doesn't suck it in all the way. The quads are also, they just lose the cuts here. Derek's vacuum is actually killer. So overall, when you include a pretty poor abs and thighs for both guys, and then Derek easily winning in the vacuum, I would give Derek the abs and thighs. Not pretty easily, because they both suck, but yeah, pretty easily, actually. So what do I reckon Derek's chances are of winning? I think higher than most people think. I would say the same for Andrew as well. So they got to split those odds, but maybe like 15% each. 15% each, yeah. And then Samson has a 70% chance of winning. I'm pretty okay with that. I think that's accurate. Sorry, I wanted to hear my own music on my own stream. I think the crunched will be very improved for Derek. Okay. Samson doesn't even look like a vacuum. It just looks like his abs are washed out and flatter and he's a bit wider. If you're going to hit something, just hit it. You know, if you're going to do it, just do it. I don't know. But anyway, we will return to this. Let's look at some final updates we have. I want to start with my favorite athlete in the world. I want to start with Carlos Thomas Jr. I may have to check P-Tour's thing. Okay. So, Patrick Tour, I mean. So, I've been going back and forth with EP09, as you guys probably know. He has Carlos Thomas Jr. in 3rd place, beating Derek Lunsford. How could you possibly do such a thing? We can debate the different reasons, but he has him very high. I gotta be honest, if you really look past what's happening here, I'm not super impressed. I'm very impressed with the front double itself, but is it that much better than Texas? It doesn't look like it. And let's all consider he had a year and a half away from the stage. So, let me back up here. Let me back up. I think I posted one of these on my story. Oh, okay. Where was I? I think it was at Bodybuilders Without Borders. This, because it's very important to show how Carlos got to Ohio. Like, what shape he was in when he arrived. This is it. Okay. This was from a few days ago, and this was posted 1 day ago. So at the beginning of the week. And yeah, we'll look at new updates, but this is what he looked like now. This is what he looked like, excuse me. This is not what he looks like now. This is what he looked like when he got to Columbus. Okay? So immediately I'm noticing the thick skin. And it's important to note with Carlos, he has UC, ulcerative colitis. It's going to prevent him from ever pushing like some of these other guys that can push insanely hard during preps, insane peak protocols. He doesn't have the luxury of being able to do that. He kind of has to, you know, monitor, him and his coach have to closely monitor the situation as it progresses. Don't burst, you'll ruin your jacket. Yeah, that's true. Let's see here. But the condition, and again, this isn't a current update. This is not a current update. He is certainly sharper than this. So, you take a look at that condition, you take a look at that entire rear double pose, please tell me how this breaks top 5. Because we have crazy front doubles. We have crazy side shots. We have that from other guys. and they have backs. You'll have Brandon Curry in this lineup that's leaner. You'll have William Bonek in here, who's looking better than he has in a few years now. You have, of course, Derek, Andrew, Samson. So James is going to be harder and drier than this more than likely. But again, this is a week, 5 days out. That brings us to today. And yes, he's drier. This was just an hour ago. Yeah, he's drier for sure. Are the cuts super deep? And again, no back pose on this, right? But you can kind of see, like, yes, he has the details, but is the skin super thin all the way around? And let's turn him around. Let's see what happens then. I'm sorry. I'm picking on Carlos. I love Carlos, but I doubt he'll go any higher than 4th. I think 6th is probably the absolute limit, maybe 5th. I really like Carlos, but I have a feeling he's going to disappoint. Yeah, that's the thing. If he gets 6th or 5th, he should count himself very lucky and move on. And I think we all need to do our part too. If he places 9th, and outside of me telling you guys, well, some of you guys, I told you so, we do have to recognize that this is his second show. He should not be at a show like this. Literally. He hasn't won a pro show. He should not be at the show. The Arnold Classic is for pro show winners. Now, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that he is up against a superb caliber of guys. Former Olympians, former Arnold Classic champions. Him not placing top 5 is not a death sentence for his career, but at the same time, he doesn't need to be out there saying, oh, I think I'd compare very well to Derek. That doesn't even make any sense. On what planet does that make any sense? And also, I will say, let's take the legs out of the equation. Does this look as freaky? Seriously, take the legs out of the equation because we know they're freaky. But if you take them out of the equation, does the overall wow factor kind of go down? I think so. The upper body, not that the upper body isn't great, but I think the legs are helping with the freak factor here. Let's check back in with the stream. Okay. So anyway, that's enough of the Carlos hate. I've been doing that all Road to the Arnold Classic series long. We can move on. Wow factor requires separation and striations. True, and he has some. But that extra level of separation is just not there, and that's okay. This is the thing, like, I'm simultaneously seeming like a Carlos apologist, but also a Carlos hater. And I'm just being realistic. People need to wake up. And it's just the problem with social media nowadays. You know, you see a guy that's a freak, and then he shows up on a real stage, and it just never happens. He just can't put it all together. I think Carlos, given time, may be a very good bodybuilder. I think he already is. But I think if he gets 6th in this lineup, he should be nothing but grateful. And the people that are saying that, oh, he should be top 3, I can't even fault them too much because Carlos is saying the same thing. He got on Olympia TV and saying, I think I can compare very well to Carlos. I can compare very well to Derek. So, let's pump the brakes on all this. Let's temper our expectations. 5th or 6th would be a great showing. Anyway, let's, anything from backstage? We love our... Ooh, Akim. This is some guy we can absolutely talk about. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, that's just garbage. Akim. Akim is one of the most underrated guys going into this lineup, period. I think he is the dark horse. Did he have the best showing at last year's Arnold? No, he kind of dropped the ball at the prejudging, but he wasn't that far behind, and he did enough at finals that he ended up in 4th overall. So, and it's worth noting that he was right next to Bonac at finals. If you take a look at the points, he beat Brandon, he beat Rafa at finals, and he was technically 8th, or maybe tied with Bonac or something like that at finals. He also didn't do that well at prejudging. I don't think the 2-day shows goes well for him, but his trajectory throughout that season last year was great. Top 4 at the Arnold, 3rd at the Arnold UK, won 2 pro shows last year. He won the Big Man Pro, which I'll show you here. He won the Toronto Pro, which qualified him for the Olympia. He placed 10th at the Olympia, and then he was runner-up to Brandau at Romania, which he probably should have won. So Akim's biggest problem, besides the rear double, is him peaking correctly. So let's assume he just keeps the condition. He just competed like 3 months ago. He can keep that granny condition. He has the old man muscle now. Look at the details in the side leg and like from the front, from the side. It's insane. This is Carlos's end game. No rear double, okay rear lat spread, great side shots, and great proportion in the front shots. This is, to me, why Carlos is always going to be on the outside, because a guy like Akim exists. He's just a strictly upgraded version of Carlos. Oh yeah, Akim 99% beat Carlos. Issue with Akim is the back. Everyone knows that his skin is a little loose. Well, we'll see. Let's see. He had some other updates. I feel like there was this one this morning. We'll take a look at that before we look at the other ones. Yeah. Nate Spears says nasty top 5. I have him. What were my predictions? Hold on. My predictions. I have him 5th. I could see him as high as 4th, really. That level of density, almost completely unmatched. Samson doesn't have this level of density. Derek doesn't have this level of density. You don't get it by being 30 years old. And some people can debate if muscle maturity exists or not. It's hard to disagree when you've looked at bodies for so long and you've been in the sport for so long. Not that I have been, but I theoretically have been with how many pictures I have at my disposal. And I can look at these guys' careers back to back to back. You can see that most of them, up until a point, they just get more and more dense. There's no other way to describe it. So yeah, that's a little bro science for you, but I have Akim placing very high. Perhaps the dark horse of the event. The dark horse. Checking back in with the stream again before we talk about another guy. Okay. So let's talk about Sean. Let's go positive, negative. Let's go negative, positive, negative here. I was a bit worried about Sean. I got to be honest. I started out making my soft list of predictions with Sean very high. But then he ended up in 8th for me. Was it 8th? Yes. And it was because of this update here. Let's see here. So in this update, this was posted 2 days ago. I noticed 2 things, neither of them good. The stomach is a bit bigger than normal, and the legs seem a bit down. That's a terrible combination. And I know it's like downlighting. It's just like the adductors are hidden because of the shadows and whatnot. But it would be one thing if I said that and he didn't have problems with the legs in the past, but he has had problems with the legs. As soon as the Olympia. And at Prague, they bounced back a little, but he still needed to bring them up because Matt Jansen ran him into the ground. So this has me a little worried, honestly. And I know some people are going to say, well, he's carving up, so the legs are going to be a little flat. Okay. Well, the stomach is big. Is that going to come down and at some point in the carb up process? Because that doesn't make any sense. Well, it's like, oh, well, it's early in the week. You can't have it both ways. The stomach is, don't mind him being 5'2" and 180 pounds. At the beginning of my Arnold Classic series, I probably legitimately had him in top 5. I was a believer. I believed in the shreds and the completeness. But then I saw this, and I know it's one update, but you guys can chime in on this. Love Sean, hate the delts, yeah. Sean needs to do that camera on the ground thing that Derek does in his updates. True. Oh, also, imagine being with your coach. You're in the posing room. You hit the side chest, and your stomach looks like this, hanging out much further than your chest. And your coach just says, oh, wow, that looks great, or whatever stupid accent Boss of Outlaw has. What is the point of a coach if they can't tell you the stupid mistake you're making? Suck in that gut. It's a side chest. You look like Kai Green. Rookie mistake. Sorry. Maybe that was a justifiable crash out. I get too heated sometimes, but it is just so frustrating. It's like, this shot could be so much better. Just suck in your damn stomach. Oh my gosh. Come on. But anyway, that's an issue. The legs are kind of an issue. And the thing is, Sean needs to be perfect because he's in an Arnold Classic lineup. There's Brandon. There's Bonac. There's guys that are ugly and still have complete physiques. And there's guys that are prettier that don't have as complete as physique as Sean, but are much bigger and much prettier. So he needs to be 100% here. If he wants to do damage, he needs guys to be a little bit off, and he needs to be 100%. This is an Arnold Classic lineup. This isn't him going against, oh, well, he beat Regan and Sergio. Okay? Yes, so was half of the other IFBB. Okay? So anyway, he did beat Horse MD at the last Prague Pro. Oh, my mic is dead? Let me take a look. Is it still working? At working now. Let me know if that's working now. No, I think I did have legitimate problems. Interesting. Okay. Maybe that fixed it. I want to say probably didn't, because most things have a technical issue around here. But, oh. Okay. Well, as long as you guys say it's okay now, I'm fine with it. Okay, yeah, it's working on my end as well. Pulled it up on my phone. But yeah, now we have the classic physique on. So we're going to go through the routines. Logan should be next after this guy, if I remember the order correctly. So we're definitely going to stay and watch his. I can't turn the music on because that is an automatic copyright strike. And so we won't be doing that. But we will watch the routine for sure. And then we have open, I imagine. And then probably Classic Awards is what headlines it tonight, or what ends it tonight. But we'll probably have open after the callouts. Okay, so yes, now we have Logan. And I don't think how these guys look tonight matters a whole lot, because like the finals isn't even on the score sheets anymore for Classic. So they say they look at finals. Do they really? I couldn't tell you. I don't think it matters a whole lot. It's like they say it's like a confirmation. Okay, whatever. Then why even do finals? And they still don't judge the routines anyways. But already liking what I see from Logan. And I'll be sure to go back and watch it with the audio as well. I'm sure a tremendous song choice was picked. To me, I like the more slow, artistic posing. This is why I like Breon for so long. And then now he's gone. But Ruff is more transition focused. I find Logan is kind of a balance of everything I like. He holds very powerful shots. There's a power to his posing. The shots he hits are very unique. The things he does are pretty unique, but without being a bit. Like Urs will like pick up the phone and it's from Jay. Kind of a bit. Some people like that, some people don't. And then he also does pay attention to the transitions, but it's not everything. I find like when people really get into posing, they're like overly. They place overemphasis on the transitions, and it just becomes a thing when they're twisting and they're turning and the arms are flailing everywhere, and the actual poses they hit aren't that good. But Logan's a good balance of everything. I feel. I like him more than Rough Diesel. Hate me all you want. I like him more than Rough. And now we have Jaehoon Bang. This guy, he's not he's not like, he's a little clunky in the way he's put together. Typical. This is maybe a little racist. Typical Asian. Well, maybe a little lower body dominant. Not a big fan of that in classic. And the back needs to come up. But overall, like he may beat Wesley Vissers tonight. In fact, I want him to. Legitimately, I think he should beat Wesley Vissers. And this is also a guy that's like he's called Baki. I think there's like a prefix on that though. He's like the Korean Baki because Baki's maybe not Korean. I don't know. I don't watch anime. But he used to have the long hair, and he looked like Baki, so that's his pseudonym on Instagram. Love his delts and shape, but the sides and lats are empty. Also, if you take a look at the glutes, he has some inflammation going on, and you can just tell he did a shot a little too close to the show. But I mean, like, I'll take a little glute lumps for a much more complete physique than Wesley. Okay. It's only 9 competitors, so... Weird but true. Asians always have great legs but almost no back. I don't know why that is, but that is always what I see. Yeah, it's just people. And it's not like it's not a racist thing to say. It's a raced realist thing to say. It's some guys like Middle Easterners. They always have the most dry, crispy looks. Think Behruz Tabani. Think Hadi Chupin. When darker competitors say Carlos Thomas Jr. have very full muscle bellies, but often can't get into the most peeled shape. This is why James Hollingshead and Ian Valliere termed the coin Caucasian dry, because it just seems that white guys typically tend to be a little bit more dry than full. But you have guys that come along once in a generation like Ronnie and Phil who absolutely have no problems with fullness, couldn't be flat if you tried, and still are dry. Phil even more so. Like, in his last years, 2018, 2017, even 2020, absolutely bone dry. And then the condition was just, the condition itself, not just like the actual water level, the condition itself was just crazy on those two guys, of course, Ronnie and Phil. But yeah, genetic differences do exist. Asian guys always have very good calves as well. You have any idea? Oh, race plays a role in genetics. Genetics play a role in bodybuilding. Race is like a class in video games. True. You've got any idea what happened to fellow Cambronero or Alex Cambronero? I say Cambronero. Probably wrong, but Alex. He was actually one of my more liked guys, and then at the 2022 Olympia he got 9th, and then he just never recovered. Won the Masters Olympia in his division, but I just don't think they like his look anymore. You know, that look in the 2010s, the classic division has only existed in 2 decades, but that look in like smaller shows when classic was just getting started, think about it. You had guys that were like 5'7", 5'8", and they were like 180 pounds because that's what the weight cap was at the time. But they were very complete guys. Guys like Breon, guys like Alex, guys like George Peterson. You had guys like that, and that was kind of like, it wasn't the standard because Chris Bumstead did eventually start winning, but it was kind of like the backup. It was standard lowercase s versus standard with a capital S at Chris Bumstead. But I just don't think they like that look anymore. There are taller guys to choose from, unfortunately. I just don't think it's the look. Like, I'm surprised Mike Sommerfeld, it's really a testament to how good Mike is as a bodybuilder, because his structure's good, but he doesn't have the height. So it really does tell you how good Mike is. Yeah, I think he did legitimately fall off a little bit, but also he, at the same time, he got passed up. His look got passed up. In an Airbnb once, I had a 45-year-old Asian gentleman also staying there. Massive honking quads and calves. I was like, what's your leg routine? He says he doesn't train. I'm Asian. True. Phil was the best combination of, of races. He got the white conditioning and the black full muscle bellies. So true. So true. Oh, someone earlier said Ruff's posing is almost a little too slow and elegant at times. Sometimes. I really liked his blinding lights routine. Here's a guy that's also not a very good poser. I don't want to say also. Here's the bull. I don't know if it's the posing or if it's the physique. Because, he just doesn't have the classic look. He's definitely more classic than an open guy. But I don't know. I'm never a fan of what he brings to the posing. I'm not a fan of his classic poses either. Outside of it screwing up what it's going to do to the Gilco Productions videos, I'm actually a fan of the waterfalls in the background. I know it's like... I was harping on the Olympia this year for saying that they should stop doing busy backdrops and backgrounds, but even when the Arnold does it, it's just so much more tasteful, And notice how the Arnold isn't overly relying on an LED screen. Yes, there is one back there, but see how the main centerpiece of the stage is this Arnold logo, and it's in real life. You can touch it. It's real. This is exactly what the Olympia should be doing. This is why the best stage production in years was 2020. With the columns, with the Greco-Roman architecture. Even though it looked kind of cheesy, I like that look. Bodybuilding is the closest. It's like that line between like kind of more of a sport. It's more based on the performance, but it also has the entertainment factor of the WWE. It's on its way to being a sport. I know some people aren't going to consider it a sport, but it's a step above WWE because it's not fake. Well, there are politics, but you know what I mean. And I think if you have over the top columns on there and it's like Greco-Roman architecture, I think that's great. We don't need an LED screen. We just need some good props. But anyway, I'm rambling about stage architecture. Here's Wesley Vissers. I gotta be honest, we'll see what we see tonight. I'm not a fan of his posing. But I think it's more of a thing where I'm not a fan of the physique rather than the posing. Legitimately, he makes mistakes though. He's gonna hit the front lat spread at some point, and you're gonna see it looks bad. It's just not the way to hit it. He made to hit it right now. And a lot of arm poses, but he knows what works for him. I prefer a more varied repertoire of poses. Pseudo sport, I'd say. Yeah. Arnold's show and stage has elegance. Yeah. And then you can't be hitting the rear double. Okay, he did a little something different with his foot placement there. A little something different. You got the Arnold. You got the governor there taking some videos as he does. The waterfalls are really calming, even more calming than Mark Max Muscle's voice. If only Mark and I. Well, anyway, if only Mark and I would kiss and make up. But anyway, I liked Wesley, but then he almost got so arrogant before the Olympia. But then he got so arrogant before the Olympia and took 8th place. Yeah, hey, everyone's arrogant almost going into the show, and most people don't get the placings they want. It is what it is. I'd rather guys be arrogant than not. I think it's boring when they're not. Okay, that means we're about done. Wesley's always spamming the same poses every time. Yeah, that's why. But what does he have? Doesn't have a very good back to show off. He's not very good at transitions. So he's kind of just going to have to show the arms. Is it Mike's turn next? Oh, it's Matt. Wesley looks so off. Yeah, he got sick and clearly couldn't recover. Big fan of Matt. I actually have not seen this guy pose. So I don't know if he's good. Most guys aren't. So I won't hold it against him if he is bad. I don't like the rolling hands in the most muscular. I don't like little things like that either. Like the bouncing pecs is another one. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I never understood the people complaining about dudes saying they are going to win, especially when they are at least in the discussion. I actually like guys that say they aren't going to win too. I really like that. I think it shows a lot of humility. Like William Bonac will say that. He says he's happy to get top 5 this year. And he says, the thing is, he was on Fuad's podcast. That's the one that was bearable enough for me to watch. He said he knows he's not what he used to be. But he said, if I can make some money, I'm going to do it. I love the humility. I love the honesty. He knows he's past his prime, and that's okay for him. That's okay for him. A lot of guys move past, when they get past their prime, you can see their moves. They start starting supplement companies. They stop competing as much. Maybe they just stop competing entirely, but rarely do they say it. Rarely do they say that, hey, I'm not past my prime. I've got very little left in the tank. I love when guys can come out and say that. But also, if you do think you're in the running, just say it. But people don't want to look like idiots after the show. Which I understand, but who cares? Who cares? Anyway. Mike is next. Love that shot. Rough Diesel would do the same thing with the one arm in front of the chest. It's like the Black Panther, I think he calls it, or whatever. Matt looks impressive, boring posing, though. Yeah, I wasn't super impressed. I'd have Grego in third. I would say so. That frame is very good. Very good. The front lat spread is exquisite. I would agree. Very good. Damn, Mike is thick. Yes, this is his advantage being a shorter competitor. Now that is what I call posing. I'm sure my music in the background makes it sound a little less impressive than whatever he's posing to. But you can kind of tell what he's posing to based on how he's posing. He looks a little bit drier than from this morning. The glutes look a little bit drier. The hams look a little bit drier. A little more detailed there. I'd still like him to see, and this is not like for what he needs to do tonight, what he needs to do going to the Olympia, some crispiness in the back. He just needs to be a bit more crisp through that upper back. Kind of like Martin Fitzwater's kind of problem. But other than that, what do you tell this guy to fix? Like, what is there to work on? He's very developed, very complete. Adductors and hams. And if that was my laundry list of what to do going into the Olympia, I'd feel very good about my chances. Mike should win best posing, in my opinion. I think they'll give it to Logan because he's probably going to play second. But anyway, we have the final call-outs here. If you guys are just joining the stream, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. I imagine Open is up next, but here we have the final call-outs for Classic Physique. So hit the like button, subscribe for more. and let's see how it all shakes out. I imagine, if I had to guess my top 5, do they put Wesley out of the top 5? That's what I'm struggling with the most. I say they do. Ji-hoon Bang, or however you pronounce his name. Grego, DeBull, Logan, Mike. I think they may push DeBull above. Oh, yeah, DeBull above. What's his name, Grego. But they could reward that structure. It's the Arnold Classic. I don't know. But yep. They're gonna move Wesley and Jae-hoon in the middle, I imagine. We'll see who finishes in the middle. I think they may give Wesley some props here just because it would be embarrassing for him to get beat by someone who didn't even place at the Olympia last year. But I mean, judge what's in front of you. For that front double, I honestly do prefer Ji-hoon. Wesley's wide taper and the straight legs, no sweep on the quads, just bugs me. Side chest is also very, very good for both of those guys. And like I said earlier, I am not giving the rear double to Wesley no matter how good his back is, because you can't be missing half the pose. That's embarrassing. I don't think he's last up there, but I think Jae-hoon has him. That's my opinion, but Kinson will not be able to sleep through the night. Sorry. Kinson will not be able to sleep tonight with Wesley possibly outside of top 5. Yeah. And then also when Carlos doesn't get 3rd but gets something like 8th. Too good. I think Wesley is 5th. The differences in the size is too big. I can see that. He finished in the middle, so he's probably 5th. The reason he moved up so much is the beard? True. I think Mike could get more obliques. Yeah, but again, that's a very small... Like, again, if this was my laundry list, I'm golden. Okay, but top 4? Again, I don't think finals matter as much. It's not even a full category on the scorecard. They leave it blank. But I think Mike did enough at prejudging regardless. I don't think... There are things that aren't going to change between prejudging and finals. Front double... I would go with Logan. Chat, you can chime in on that, but Mike is very solid. And I am kind of going with Logan because he's not going to win too much else. Side chest, look how thick and dense Mike is up top. Logan, not very well in those things by comparison, surprisingly. And then look at the thickness on Mike. Logan has more detail, but I gotta go with Mike. Abs and thighs on both of these guys are good. Mike has a better flow. And the vacuum. Does Logan pull one? No, he doesn't. And that's something Mike has that Logan doesn't. And then favorite classic pose, I'm a sucker for a good twisting rear double. But in my opinion, as long as you do a good classic pose, you get a pass in my book. And I think all these guys are picking good ones. The Bull's the only one I'm kind of iffy about. But are they gonna? Yeah, they're gonna. Oh, I think they should maybe they should drop Mike and Logan out, do a 3 and 4 way a 3rd and 4th comparison with Grego and DeBull, and then bring back Logan and Mike. But I don't know if they'll do that. It doesn't look like it if they moved him around here. But as for Grego versus Mike, I would give that, the front double, to Grego over Michael DeBull. I should say Michael instead of Mike. When referring to DeBull. Logan's color is better. He's popping, for sure. Michael's chest is pretty good. I'd give that to him over Matt. DeBull doesn't belong. Kinson's reign as a bodybuilding analyst king is officially over. Since when was he the king? I'll tell him this to his face. He has the worst eye I've ever seen. Carlos in third? You're insane. You're insane. Matt's vacuum's very good. I don't think Michael should be hitting the rear double pose because it's just wrong. I think that one's a little better where he flexes the tricep, and he shouldn't hit the side tricep either. His rib cage is really flat. I wouldn't do that. Okay, and that's it. That's going to be it for the 2025 Arnold Classic Physique division. Are we getting awards now? Okay, we're getting a pose down now, but we'll see if we get awards now or then open then awards. I've seen them do both, so we'll see. Who else prefers this stage to the Olympia? And I know it's a smaller thing. They're not renting out this huge theater or whatever you want to call it for the Olympia. But it's almost like maybe you shouldn't. I get it, though. I get it. You know, they have 400 athletes. If you bring mom and dad with you to see your Olympia showing, that's 800 people you have to bring. You have to have right there. So... But yeah, I think the Olympia should focus on smaller stages or stages where they can really have more control over the lighting and then not do some stupid LED screen. I prefer over the Olympia because I don't have to watch illegally. Shout out to the Arnold Classic for providing this free live stream. I haven't been plugging it because I think it's easy to find. Just search Arnold Sports, and you'll find it. You'll find just follow like live, I think the tab is called, or you can visit arnoldsports.brandlive.com. Shout out, like this is great, and it's better than the Olympia. I remember watching the Olympia, and it was so dark on the stream. Like William Bonac came out, and I didn't even know it because it's like you couldn't even see the dude. But anyway. Okay, but what if Carlos somehow came and shredded? He won't, but what if though? I hate that. I hate that. In bodybuilding, this is why I call it out so much. We have to get away from that mentality of, well, if he just brings in this and this and this and this. And it's like that one guy in the memes says, if my grandma had wheels, she would have been a bike. What is the guy doing now? And what is in his capabilities? Can Carlos run the table, bring his back up tremendously, gain size everywhere else, and then push the conditioning down a lot when he has UC, enough to Derek level conditioning levels? Get out of here. Get out of here. So, I'm tired of all the what ifs in bodybuilding, and it's just because people want to be nice. Like, hey, what if Carlos came into condition? Yeah, exactly, what if? What if he did that? That'd be great. So, Palumbo said he saw Carlos a few times in his room and was impressed. Palumbo says that about everyone. It's also kind of like Chris Aceto. Chris Aceto always like beats around the bush where he's like, oh, Andrew's going to be big at this show. It's not what we're asking for. We're asking him to be shredded. Mark my words, if Andrew Jacked comes out shredded tonight, he has a better chance to win the Arnold Classic than Samson Dauda. I think Andrew in real life is insane. And I haven't seen him in real life. But I just know that physique is insane. There's nothing else like it. And Samson's the closest thing. But Samson's more consistent. So we'll see. We'll see. Moments away now. Okay. So it's time. It is time. Guys, make sure you hit the like button on the stream. about 150-ish people, 140-ish people in chat, and subscribe for more. And get in on the action. I definitely want to know what your guys' analysis is. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't know your guys' analysis, because I imagine a lot of us don't have a whole lot of friends that are into bodybuilding, so it's nice to join in the chat. Anyway, first up, first out, individual presentation starts with Brother Derek. Are the legs a bit bigger, chat? The legs maybe look a bit bigger. They still look kind of clunky though. I don't like the shape to his legs. He has a lot of his legs themselves are big because his adductors are so big, but the actual quads themselves aren't that big. It's a weird combination. If you want to know what I'm talking about, look at the difference between him and Rafael Brandao. Rafael Brandao has very small adductors, very big quads. His quads are his entire leg. Derek's side leg looks even better than the Olympia, that's for sure. Looks a little bit drier in the midsection. Yes, a little bit drier in the midsection. Still kind of puffy towards the middle, the lower, but the back is the back. I mean, come on. Front lat is still yeah. I mean, Samson, no one in the show was beating that, so. Definitely good thus far, yeah. I think, not to be mean, I think Samson is kind of the master of his own destiny here. I think the judges will give it to him pretty much always as long as he's on, because the judges want that type of physique. But here we go, abs and thighs. Okay. Okay. Legs look a little bit better. A little more separated all the way to the hip. He just looks a little awkward. No, don't hit it don't hit that either. Don't hit that either. What the hell happened? Those last three poses were all ones that he should not have hit. Just stick with the hands clasped most muscular. Do not show the midsection. Do not show the midsection. That was an awful choice. Yeah, I like how Chris Cormier said, "Oh, the ab shot is going to be better," and so your alternative to better was just not flexing the abs themselves. Literally, the separation at the Olympia was better than the abs there. I think this is an overall better package by the looks of it. We'll see how it holds up, but some mistakes were made at the end of that posing routine. Here we go. Big Akim Williams. Less abs than the Olympia, huh? Yeah. I want to see a shredded Akim, and he could very well be top 4. Also, I think the stream makes everyone look slightly less conditioned. It's kind of, there's like a powdery cloudiness effect to the stream. I sound like a retard, but there's like a cloudiness to it. Akim looks pretty on. Let's see him from the back, mainly from the hamstrings, because we know he doesn't have a back. Dick to your crack. When are we seeing the Project Bodybuilding Top 25 Physiques of all time? That's going to take a lot of work. Respectfully, I put a lot of effort into my videos, more than probably other people in this, to a detriment. I think I'd have a lot more subscribers and a lot more views if my videos were shorter and less long-winded. But a video like that's going to take me a long time. I'm not opposed to doing it, however. I'm not opposed to doing it. I would say maybe within this year. And I know that's maybe a cop-out answer, but that's a massive undertaking for me because I don't want to put out a list just because. This guy is the amateur from last year. People probably are like, who the hell is this guy? He is the Arnold amateur winner from last year, and that automatically gets an invite this year. Why? I have no idea. Like everyone else has to win a pro show, but the Arnold amateur guy, I think that's dumb. I think that's stupid. But this guy is the amateur from last year. But I appreciate the super chat, of course. So I would say I'll get into the lists in general this year, but a top 25 physiques of all time, that's a massive undertaking. If there's enough demand for it, maybe this year. We'll see how it goes. I'm not opposed. It's just I want to upload a little more frequently, and a video like that will just kill any frequency I have going. This is also why we should not let first-year pros into this this contest. What is this conditioning? Like, I get it. He's not going to have top pro-level size, but you can bring the shreds. Like, come on, man. Come on. He doesn't belong here. Yeah. Bro, can we have a bit of sound? No, because it's going to get copyrighted, unfortunately. True, but your community would be worse with shorter quality videos. That is true. That is true. My audience is already retarded, but it'd be a lot worse. Anyway, we have Brandon here. Ooh, the legs look good on Brandon. Comparatively, the legs look pretty good on Brandon. That arm is shrinking, though. Very distracting. Condition is obviously still not very good. And also, the legs themselves, a little sus, if you ask me. The skin texture is a little weird as well. But from the back, he's just got the thicker Brandon Curry skin. This is a good Brandon, though. This is better than 2024, probably better than 2023. I would say so. 2022 wasn't that good of a year either, to be fair. The Olympia. I actually did like his smaller Arnold Classic version. Not to be that guy, but washed up. Yeah, better than I expected, but honestly, I don't know. I would agree. It's just, get him in that lineup. You'll see these younger, fresher guys, and you'll see that Brandon's just, yeah. Probably top 5. I don't know. We'll see what else we got cooking. The amateur is probably getting last. Probably. Probably. Too veiny doesn't look good. That's what I mean. It's sus. The skin texture is sus. I don't know what. I'm not a pharmacologist. I'm not up on the pharmacology, but that's weird. Here we go. Chinedu Obieke? I think that's a pretty good pronunciation. Let's see the most shredded Andrew ever, shall we? Huh. The front always looks good. He needs to fix your damn posing. The front lat spread is one of your best shots ever, and you hit it like that. Embarrassing, really. But anyway, the side chest, a different execution. I think he could still do better. Let's see the back. Let's see the glutes and hams. Or is it the same as always? Same as always. Same as always. Who? Oh my gosh. The posing. Imagine being the best bodybuilder in the world and sucking ass because of posing. It's just so sad. Andrew has grown on me. Okay, put your tongue back in your mouth. Welp, not beating last year's Texas, yep. He's clamping the scapula like, bro, day 1. Exactly. How the hell do you not have coaches that tell you, what is this abs and thighs? Okay, and then he finally crunches it. Okay, whatever. And then let's see if he's finally worked out a most muscular for himself. Okay. Okay, bro. This is also why Phil Heath was such a gift. There's a common saying, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. But in this case, in Phil's case, it was talent working hard. In Andrew's case, it's talent completely forgetting how to pose. When you have that frame, show off the taper exactly. But here we go. Here is perhaps tonight's winner. Well, tomorrow's winner, Samson Dauda. All he needs to do is replicate the Olympia package. Derek is maybe slightly better. Okay. Andrew doesn't have it. Okay. And Samson. Okay. What's with the tongue? Yeah, it's stupid. I think Samson can even be a little off just because Derek just looks so awkwardly put together. That last little 3 poses Derek did in the most muscular and those 2 variations in the abs and thighs really left a sour taste in my mouth. And also, what the hell is this? Can you get into better condition? Is that possible? Probably not, but back looks a little improved. I think he probably beats Derek. Derek just looks so... I don't know. I think I just finally saw a side of Derek I haven't seen before, and it's not a very good one. Samson's got it. Yeah, probably. Smooth through the delts and parts of the back. Well, that's Samson. I think he still has it anyway. He still had these things at the Olympia. Samson doesn't even need to be compared. He's already won. But who's going to beat him? You know, it's like Andrew can't even pose to save his life. What a moron. Derek is... He could have done more, but like... He just looks so awkward. He's a short muscle-bound guy, and I don't think the standard is that right now. Samson can't flex his abs properly. Well, he just doesn't have very good abs. Here we go. Here's Sean. Maybe this is a top 5 guy. Honestly, they're all a bit off. Yeah, maybe a little. I think it's the stream. Like I said, it kind of has this like blurry effect to it. Sean's legs, how are we feeling about them? Okay, can you lock in your stomach on the side chest? Can he? Okay, that's a little bit better. I like that. Love it. Maybe he heard me. He's crispy, for sure. That back's killer. Better than someone like Brandon now. Samson is good, but good for the other comp. Sorry. It would help if I can read. Samson is good, but good for the other competition. The quality of bodybuilders dropped badly. Yeah. Hey, you gotta be at the right place at the right time. Jay Cutler would be a 10-time Mr. Olympia if not for Ronnie Coleman and Phil Heath. Akim's back looks better than Andrew. What do you think? What do you guys think the chances Akim places ahead of Andrew are? Because at some point the judges are going to be like, they've done this before. Hey, you're not bringing what we asked for. You're getting pushed back until further notice. I wouldn't be surprised if someone like Akim can beat Andrew tonight. But I'm just salty because Andrew has all the potential in the world and has a very small list of things to do. Okay. Williams' waist looks a bit wider here. Oh man, that taper that's an H taper. Okay. The back is what's going to save Bonac. The back and the side chest, for sure. He just makes up so much ground in all the other poses that he can afford to have 2 bad shots. William looks like a worse version of Sean, but he's a bigger version of Sean with much better legs. Much a worse waist, but much better legs. I think William probably places ahead of Sean. Bonak should also retire. Yeah. Finish out the season. Maybe he retires here tonight. Still a pretty good most muscular. Okay, about 200 people in chat. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Subscribe. Because I will be live tomorrow to watch this finish out as well. But yeah, very interesting so far. So join the chat. Join. I want to know what you guys are thinking here. Patrick Moore. He wasn't last in my predictions. Justin, besides the amateur guy, Justin was. Patrick actually competed with Justin at their last show. Their last show was actually together at the Legion Sports Fest. I had no idea. Patrick placed 7th. Justin placed 10th. But Justin's updates kind of looked a little promising, so we'll see how that goes. Really need to see the Gilco footage to make up my mind. Yeah. I love peak Bonak. Love the arms and the separation, but the waist is wider, the lats are weaker, and the skin is thicker than back then. True. Very true. Why didn't Martin do the show? He might have had a chance. Martin's time is coming. I don't think there's any rush at this point. He's done his homework. And also, beating Nick at Pittsburgh is probably going to feel pretty good. Let's be honest. Beating Nick at Pittsburgh, it's kind of like... Also, I think he's kind of... he's doing what Phil did. Phil did an Olympia, and then he sat out of the Arnold, and then did like another Olympia. I don't know. I saw Martin talking about it. Patrick can't pose. I wonder if Patrick still calls himself the future. It's crazy, you know. Another guy with so much potential that could just never buckle down and grow. Like, you get into the sport to grow. It's bodybuilding. How do you... That's crazy. Is it just me, or would Mike beat Patrick in open? I get what you're saying. I'm not going to say that would happen, but I get what you're saying. Excuse me. All right, and now we have the U.S. oil reserves up next. Bro is not the future. Okay, guys, but who's placing, besides the amateur, who is definitely placing last, who's placing last out of Patrick and Justin? I almost did a comparison of these guys, didn't have time. Who is placing last? Patrick, Justin. Or maybe it's not. We haven't seen Carlos yet. If Carlos places last, Kinson's career is over. Oh God, this guy. What's crazy is he was 3rd at Prejudging in 2022 and then ultimately fell to 5th overall. But in 2022 he was good, and then he just never stopped competing. And then he kept using it's not just the oil. Justin has this look it's chemical. Like, you can tell when a dude blasts gear. He's cooked. The skin texture, he gets in condition, but the skin texture is just so worn out. He just has this chemically cooked look. Patrick is last. Rodriguez. Patrick has the shape at least. That's what I would say. That's why I think Patrick places higher. Carlos should be up next, or very soon. Oh, I was right. Okay. Okay, let's see the back, Carlos. Let's see the back. Let's see it. Big pharma type of physique. Okay, I want your guys' honest position on Carlos here. Okay, glutes are not in at all. A little soggy, little loose skin on there. In the back. Okay, and then the posing. And then the posing. Oh no. Oh no. Who could have predicted this? Who could have predicted that? I'll hold my tongue. We haven't seen the callouts. We haven't seen the callouts yet. Looks good through the front shelf. Better than normal. Wasted potential. Hey, it's a second show. It's a second show. Very poor abs, though. Like, Derek has better abs than that. Respectfully. Derek also needs to stop tensing the core and actually flex the abs. Whatever Chris Cormier has him doing now, where he kind of like tenses the entire core instead of flexing down on all of them, revert back. Chris Cormier doesn't know what he's talking about. That guy is permanently fried, okay? He's a slow talker. We know he's done some things back in the day. Clearly, it shows today. He needs to go back to flexing the abs. Here we have James. This is going to be one of the last guys. Yeah, number 12. Well, I don't know if they win an open. If they go in order, I mean. And what we're looking for with James is just a peaked physique. That's all we want. We just need... He's never going to have the most details. He can get shredded, but he never has, like, the striations and whatnot. He's just one of those physiques that just doesn't have that. He looks exactly the same as 2 years ago. That's also a thing. Are the judges going to look at that and be nice to him because he's an amateur? Well, 4 years removed from being an amateur, with 2 shows removed from being an amateur? Or are they going to say, you've had 2 years to improve, and we don't see 2 years of improvements? Palumbo x Kinson Timberlake, Crimey River. He's a slow talker. Lats are so bad on James. I know, they're barely wider than his waist. Yeah, and the glutes. I mean, they're boxed in, but pretty narrow, no? Oh, extremely narrow. And the waist is kind of wide too, which doesn't help. And if he may have the worst abs and thighs in the show tonight. Let's take, like, even worse than Carlos. Tell me that's not the worst abs and thighs. Justin Rodriguez is quite literally better. Worse than normal even. Oh no! Sean beating him? What did I have in my predictions? I had James in 7th. So yeah, maybe Sean could beat him. I think that's it. That should be it. Okay. Let's see that first call out. It will not just be the 3 guys, because I think there's enough middle ground between Derek, Andrew, and some of the others. Honestly, Akim will be first call out. Akim is going to be first call out for sure. And that's what we want. That's what we want. Worse than Justin may be a bit of a stretch. No, I don't think so. I don't think so, honestly. This is a very quick show, pleasantly surprised. First call out is... Oh, no, these are the... this is not first call out. This is just how they appear in numerical order. You know this amateur guy? I didn't realize how tall he was. Honestly, a pretty good structure on him, but, like, what is that condition? Imagine getting out-conditioned by Brandon Curry. Everyone looks vaguely off. At that point, I think it's probably the stream then. Nobody really excelled. Maybe it's the live stream, though. Yeah, like I said, it's just like It's like this film over it. It just, I don't know. It's like a little, it's like it's grayscaled a little bit. Like the contrast is turned down. Contrast turned down, saturation turned up, maybe. The amateur is completely out of place. Akim could win if the back shots weren't counted. True. Akim with a moderately okay rear double is Mr. Olympia. Yeah, live stream is rough. 720p. I know. I was looking for 1080p. Didn't have it. I was actually a little surprised. Oh, thanks for the super chat. Is that Ian? I don't know how to pronounce that. Do you think 2024 Hottie would smoke them? Absolutely. People underestimate 2024 Hottie Chupin. What the hell is Tyler laughing at? Is this fun and games to you, Tyler? This is a matter of life and death. This is a $500,000 check. But anyway, complain, but the Olympia live stream doesn't count. So true. I'll shut my mouth. I'll shut my mouth. This is free. I'm not complaining. I was a little surprised that we don't have 1080p, but this is far better than anything the Olympia could possibly muster up. You have Dan Solomon running around with his iPod Touch trying to figure out how to go live on Facebook. But do you think Hottie 2024 would smoke them? Yes. Yes, he would. 2024 Hottie Chupin was a top 20 physique of all time, and that's being generous. Probably top 15. Wherever you put Dexter Jackson's best physique on that scale of top 20 physiques of all time, Hottie's right there with him. Right there with him. Laughing equal not professional judging. So true. I want him fined. Yep, look, Carlos looks mediocre next to taller guys. You guys don't realize this. Carlos is shorter than Derek. And less muscular. I know Carlos looks great in his own individual updates. But Derek is just a... You'll realize the quality advantage if they stand next to each other. I guess that's a big if. Carlos, I'm a Carlos fan, but he's getting smoked by everyone from the back, by literally everyone. Okay, who's going to take this first call out? Oh, and also Derek shaved his beard. I thought he would keep the beard. I think Derek with a beard would make him look a little more serious, less like Akim makes first call out. What did I say? Vindicated again. Vindicated again. Akim versus Carlos back double. It comes down to like the lower body at that point, and I think that probably favors Carlos, but he's not super dry. Okay. So here is your current top 6 starting prejudging. We'll see how this moves around. Yep, they're going to move Brandon. Probably move... I probably have Brandon ahead of Andrew. I don't know. I have Akim ahead of Andrew. Andrew's just so tall, though. Akim is like 5'11". Andrew just looks so tall. Carlos is like 4'11". Who you got at the moment? Probably Samson, but I don't know. I want a smaller call out. I want to see the details. Hot take, I'd give this one to Derek. I'd give the front double to Derek. No one is shorter than Derek. It's scientifically impossible. Maybe so. Front lat spread probably goes to Samson, but that's just because Derek is also pretty bad. Could this be Derek's? Honestly. Side chest. Yeah, look how immense Samson is. Also, Derek should not be doing this thing where he poses his arm really low. Pose it like you were at the Olympia with the arm hiked up. It looked a lot better. I got 1080p and Derek over Samson right now. You know what? You know what? I think I'm leaning towards Derek the more I see these guys. Samson is 5'11", Akim is probably 5'9", so Akim lied. He lied. Maybe. You're probably right. Andrew is so humble for coming to the show 3 weeks out. Yeah, true. Okay. And the thing is, like, Derek's abs and thighs is weak. But Samson, like, what is he doing to win here? Like, it'd be one thing if he came in with, like, a hottie tube in midsection and showed that Derek sucks. But, like, Samson's abs and thighs isn't good either. Derek should not hit the hands on hips. He should never do that. He should have learned that from his 212 days when he was still doing it back then. Someone tell him only hands clasped. Only hands clasped. If he did that, he would have stood a better chance, but I have Samson winning. Dowda lacks the pop he had at the Olympia. Derek gained what he was missing. Why is Derek low-key looking better than Samson in a lot of shots? Stop that vacuum, Samson. Oh no. Let's see where Carlos ends up. I'd hate for him to end up in 9th place where I predicted him. Oh no. You mean to tell me Carlos isn't even top 6? That's crazy. Who could have predicted this? Okay. Carlos's front shots are pretty good, though. The stream could be favoring lighter skin tones. That's important to remember. But Derek does look vastly sharper than Samson. It does look like the depth... I want to say, like, the adjectives. You know, the depth of the skin, but it could be the stream for sure. Amateur is beating Carlos. Trust. They should just cancel the show at this point. I've seen enough. Man, look at that rear double on Carlos. Almost makes me want to put him in the top 3 in my predictions. If I was retarded. Carlos is so short. He looks like he looks big in a vacuum but tiny in lineup. Exactly. Good side shots on Carlos, but yeah, it's just like anyone can look big when they're 5'4". It's kind of like that one meme where it's like Lee Priest and it's like my 5'4" friend when he touches a weight. Yeah, because like there's less space to fill out. Okay, it's like 6 foot guys have a hard time looking like they work out. It's easy to look like you work out when you're 5'4". And I know like we're talking about like professional level bodybuilders, but the same rule applies. Carlos is like 220 and he's 5'4". 270 on James is close to 6 foot looks pretty impressive. Perhaps more impressive than Carlos. You know, it's just like a ball of mass, unrefined. Genuinely don't see the problem with Moore. He's small. Didn't know Carlos Thomas Jr. was that short. Okay, here we go. Top call out. Is Brandon going to be top 3? Ain't no way Brandon is going to be top 3. That's crazy. Where did I have him in my predictions? 5th? I had him in 5th. 6th, excuse me. I'd give that shot to Derek. Front lat spread? Legitimately? Probably give that to Derek. Side chest, Derek needs to go back to how he was posing. I said that earlier, but Samson is just so immense. I don't think it really matters. Side leg on Derek is killing Samson, though. And here's the problem for Samson. He needed to be on condition-wise to hold that lower body together to at least fend off Derek from like opening up a massive whoop-ass margin, but he's not. He's not. From now on, EP00. So true. But to be fair, I have to apologize now to Matt from Muscle Discord because it looks like Brandon may be top 3. I don't know. I think I am a little bit biased because I like Andrew more, and when I see him do poorly, I want him to be punished because it shouldn't be happening. But I don't know. He may still win on structure. Dang, Derek wins. Okay, but here's the question. Let's say Derek wins tomorrow night. I think the Olympia is still pretty wide open. And Derek's very confident. You can tell. Derek is very confident. I'm not a fan of the hand on hip. And Andrew just looks so blank, you know? Just like, yeah. To me, Derek is the only one who is on right now. I would agree. Like, when Brandon has more details than Samson and Andrew, what is going on? It looks like Derek is probably at least going to be winning this night. If he doesn't win overall, I'd be surprised at this point. It looks like Derek is winning at this point. I thought Samson, when he came out, was looking pretty good, but you put him next to a guy like Derek, and who's a lot sharper. And Andrew, I think another thing that's really hurting Samson, Andrew is so off. Imagine if Andrew and Samson were both like similar levels of on, how much that would hurt Derek. Maybe that would push Brandon out of this call out. Maybe Andrew would then firmly be at least top 3. Imagine if Samson and Andrew were both on and Derek was in the middle. I think that would hurt him. I think, I thought going into the show, having Hottie not there would actually hurt Derek because he's now in between 2 tall guys. But it looks like the absence of Hottie is actually hurting Samson. Very interesting. Very interesting. Derek beat Samson here. Derek, let's go. I think Samson is so overrated. This is crazy. This is crazy. I should have predicted this. How could I have not seen this coming? I was saying this too. Not recently though. I was saying this like at the very beginning. I was like, maybe Derek beats Samson at the Arnold, but Samson comes back and wins the Olympia. I didn't have the guts to put Samson ahead of my predictions though. Derek's confidence is on. He's on. I think they should put Sean. I don't know. I don't think Brandon nor Andrew should have been in that last call out, but maybe it'll be a top 2 at the end. Martin Fitzwater predicted that Andrew's going to beat Derek. On Andrew beats everyone in the world. It's not our fault Andrew can't put together a basic thing. Also, don't believe a damn word Chris Aceto says anymore. That guy cannot be trusted. He's always like, oh, you're going to see Texas, but even better. Really? Like, where? Andrew's tongue is his best muscle at the moment. Yeah. Wait. Does this mean the back 4 are the amateur, Patrick, Justin, and Carlos? No way. That's right. That's right. I predicted him in 9th. Oh, this is just rich. This is just rich. Oh. Kinson, you fool. Akim should place ahead at least of Brandon Curry. It's just the back. It's just rear double. I don't know. I think the judges kind of underrate Akim as well. Carlos comes in tomorrow with Toronto, you mean Vancouver, hot conditioning, and Coleman's back and he comes in third. That's Kinson's logic, though. That is Kinson's logic. It is a glorious day. It is. Akim has one of the best side poses of all time. Agreed. Agreed. This is why he should be ahead of Brandon Curry. Aceto said that Akim and Andrew hold a lot of water and they should really... and they're really hard to peak properly. Well, damn, maybe Chris Aceto should hire a coach so he can peak Andrew better. Imagine... I know he probably said that, but it's like, what kind of argument is that? These people pay you, or at least they pay you in exposure. Andrew with Boss of Outlaw next. How about Andrew with a treadmill? Anyone that'll make him do cardio. I believe it. Carlos meets Jesus backstage and comes in third tomorrow. Okay. Akim is getting robbed? Yeah. Honestly, put Sean next to Brandon. Coach squared is crazy. Well, it's true. It's true. These guys are really hard to peak. Well, damn, genius. It's almost like you're there to you're there to help them peak. Yeah, Brandon shouldn't be in the first call out. We'll see what it finishes up as. I imagine it comes down to Samson and Derek, but we shall see. Sean works his way to top 5. Not if they keep Brandon protected. Not if they keep Brandon protected. Sean should not ever hit the head-on abs and thighs. Bonac gets away with it. He should always hit the oblique shot. Come on. I almost did this comparison, actually, Sean versus Bonac, because they're both ugly type of physiques, I'll just say it, but they're very complete. And as I said earlier, Bonac's basically just for all intents and purposes, a bigger Sean. Okay. So now we have the third call out. I wonder who it could be. Who is it? Look at Sean's face. Oh no, they have the first call out again. Okay, they did take Brandon out of the third call out. So Brandon, it looks like will have to contend in that smaller call out, which is where he belongs. He's clearly not on these guys' level, but I like how they act like they don't know which square to stand in. Are you all retarded? It looks like Andrew may be getting a little better as he poses. I don't know, though. Why Andrew got his tongue out so much? That's for Tyler Mannion. That's for Tyler Mannion at the judges table there. Seems like Aceto is always trying to bring in Andrew very full and just messes up. Yeah. I don't know why he would think that's the move. Why did Andrew pull his trunks all the way up his ass crack? That was so unnecessary. There's not even a glute striation to be mentioned. There's not even a single thing to talk about. And he gives himself a wedgie. Like, come on. Andrew activated freaky mode. Tongues out for Tyler. That's exactly what we're doing this weekend. Tongues out for Tyler. Derek's conditioning probably wins in this show. All all rise for the Short Kings. The Short Kings will rise again. Look at Samson's face. The face of utter defeat. Andrew trying to flash us. Hey. I've heard, like, it's just this freaky mode. It's just this freaky mode. Okay. Derek's gonna finish in the middle here for sure. He knows. Look how confident Derek is. Look how dejected Samson is. Andrew, why? Put it in your mouth. What are you doing? Do you have something against Aceto? Yes, I do. He continues to fail peaking Andrew. At some point, we have to call it what it is. He is not the right coach for Andrew. That's what I have against Aceto. Nothing personal. Simply professional. You're not doing what your athlete wants. There it is with the trunks again. Weinberger loves ass cheeks. Isn't Andrew beating Samson? No, I don't think so. Andrew and Samson could probably both use more oil. Derek probably needs a little less. They can wipe each other down on stage and glaze each other up. I mean, that wouldn't be the most horny thing that happened tonight for sure. He's legit making me feel attacked. Yeah, it's so weird. I'm going to have to go through and count how many times. Oh, and there it is again. Bro. Okay, and they're going to do it again. Put Samson in the middle this time. Okay, everyone gets in the middle. Samson finishes in the middle, though. I don't know if you want to count that for anything. Samson looks a little watery. I gotta be honest. Derek's skin is a lot thinner. Andrew brought the freak. Freaky Andrew era begins. So true. Andrew seems a little flat today. I would agree, but it's so weird because he has so much size. I swear to God, if he hikes the trunks up again. Okay, good. Because I was about to say, where else can they go? The glutes have eaten the trunks. He has so look at the size of the glutes and the quad sweeps though. Imagine that shredded. That would be insane. That would be an insane lower body. This current package that Andrew has, shredded, would be insane. Look at all the and the tongue. Look at all the details he has already. And the posing. Come on, man. Tongues out, trunks in. So true. And then flex down on your abs, Andrew. He didn't even flex down on his abs. Imagine your best pose in the world. The best pose in the world, you have it, and you can't even pose it right. Oh my gosh. The tongue. I think Derek thinks he won. Yeah, Derek is feeling it tonight. I think Samson is trying to fake it while he makes it, but when Derek is upset, he'll show you. So I think Derek probably, he knows. He probably has it. Is that it? We could have had more callouts. Man. Okay, guys. Well, we'll get into a little post-show analysis. Let's look at some HD photos. But if you guys like that, make sure you hit the like button on the stream and subscribe for more. I will be going live tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, for finals, for open finals. So tune in tomorrow night. If you're leaving now, subscribe on your way out the door. And I will be here tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for finals. But let's look at the aftermath here, if there is some. Okay. I don't want stream. We saw the stream. Okay, here's some of Derek. Look at that side leg. Look at that side leg. Crazy. The most muscular, it's like he's reverted back a little bit. Legs look really good here. But he needs more details to the chest and shoulders, and I don't like it. He should hide the midsection with the hands clasped. Instead of knuckles touching, hands clasped. That looks good. He should just do that. He should just do that. He should not do that. He should not do that. That was like, take a look at the Olympia version where he was actually crunching instead of tensing. Look how much better this is compared to this. So he should make that quick posing fix, and that'd be good. Back shots, we know what they're like. We know what they're like. Andrew will show us if you're not familiar. But yeah, I don't want to see. Okay, here's Samson. So Samson, very big. He doesn't look as off as maybe I thought he was, but the thing is, he's like maybe a little worse than the Olympia, and Derek is pretty good. Pretty good. Oh, what am I talking about? We have Classic Physique Finals. We have the Classic Physique Awards. I'm so glad I didn't end the show. We have the Classic Physique Awards. Stay tuned for Classic Physique Awards. Duh. I would have felt real dumb if I kept watching the stream and the Classic Physique Awards came on. So stay tuned. We have Classic Physique Awards. Because they haven't done the awards yet. Better legs but worse torso. Crunching makes his waist look wider. I'll take a wider waist and better abs, honestly. But yeah, we'll look at some high def pics before we take a look at classic finals. It's just like, I know I had a lot of shit to say about Andrew. Samson's in the same boat. Like, come on, man. Come on. Just do the cardio. Just do the cardio. But I don't think he was as off as I thought he was with these pictures. I think they make him look a little bit better. Here's a full photo. Let me zoom in on this. And who stands out to you there? Derek, for sure. Yeah. Brandon looks really good there, I gotta be honest. But Akim does too. Honestly, Akim over Bonak. Oh, I have to text Kenson. I have to text Kenson. Okay, but here we have Andrew jacked. Bro. Okay, what are the comments saying? What? Okay, let me refresh. Do you think Logan deserves the first place? No, I don't. I think he's a pretty solid second place. Derek's got small enough waist with good lats as a good trade-off, yeah. Andrew looks bad in the back poses. Brandon looks great. More complete. Probably more shredded back to front. Coming into this, I thought Samson would look much more imposing. Well, to be honest, I scrapped this comparison. I didn't have time for it. Samson versus Derek, right? And to be honest, I was going to have Derek narrowly winning. I was probably going to say I predicted Samson to place higher, but I think Derek honestly was kind of a little underrated at the Olympia when I go back and look at it. Not that he should have won. I'm just saying he was pretty underrated. But I mean, where are you going to put him? Are you going to put him above Hottie? I mean, maybe. Are you going to put him above Samson? Probably not. I don't know. Let's get these. Oh, hold on. I got a text. Kenson. Let's see here. Okay, it's back. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say to Kenson. Well. And I'll type in his chat as well. Okay. Oh, we have some other awards first. Okay. Kenson over there on his stream is coping and seething, talking shit about my stream. Your stream isn't even working properly. Okay, well, your mind isn't working properly, Kenson. Carlos was... I mean, he wasn't even in the second call out. That larger one, yeah. But at the end, he's going to end up, like my prediction, probably 9th. Legitimately probably 9th. The only 3 people that I can see not beating him are Patrick, Justin, and that amateur guy. So let's reevaluate what we have here. But anyway, what the hell was that thing? I don't know, man. I don't know. This could have been an easy win for Hottie. Hey, that guy wore the same thing last year. But anyway. Oh, here we go. Okay, chat, who do we have? We have a very unconditioned, very tall and aesthetic guy. The guy with the most potential here is in the worst condition. In the middle, we have Mr. Olympia, who's just a little off. And then we have Derek, former Mr. Olympia, who was on. I would have him winning the front double. We'll see what other shots they have here. Side try is a little tough to give him. He's just a little small here. Okay, but what the hell? What the hell with Andrew? Like, come on. What is this? One, the posing sucks, but you know what he did make sure to do? Make sure to get that Gene Simmons tongue out. Come on, man. Come on. And then the rear double, no contest. Andrew does have a really good back. He just comes in like 3 weeks out. More than that, probably. And then the front lat spread. Legitimately, when he is on and when he is posing correctly, Andrew Jack has the best front lat spread in the world right now. Instead, he gets too wrapped up in stupid things like sticking his tongue out. And he imagine having the best pose in the world right now, and you lose it to yourself. Open your lats, pose, practice. How hard is it? It can't be that hard, can it? Can it? You have guys at my gym in the posing room, and they'll spend an hour in there doing God knows what. I don't really care, but at least they're practicing. And yeah, none of them pose really, really well, but they're not top 5 in the world. There's no reason Derek should be pushing either of these two. There's no reason Derek should be on the same tier as these two, but I think because of circumstance, he is in the same tier as these two. I wouldn't go as far as to say he's winning, but he's on the same tier. I think Andrew's winning the front shots. Even being less conditioned, he's got the better separation than Derek and Samson. Yeah, he is kind of coasting on that genetic separation. Like, he doesn't have it in the side and the back, but from the front, he does have good details for whatever reason. I'm feeling Samson by a hair or so, but could change with more footage. Yeah, I'm waiting for that Gilco footage. Carlos is the same height as Clarita. Samson looks better in the photos, but Derek is just on tonight. And Andrew, what the hell are you doing, my brother in Christ? True. But that's the last shot we have of that. Any Gilco footage out yet? Let's take a look. Nothing out yet. Okay. We'll check who is the best bodybuilder. They're always quick with it. Proxy Bum would be top 4, honestly. Did Carlos meet expectations? Bro. Oh no. Sorry, I'm a professional hater. Yes, now it is time for me to... Actually, no, I'll gloat a little bit more. Who thought this was going to be top 3? And why did we think that? I mean, not we. Carlos is at least 4 weeks out. Yeah. Like, come on, man. Derek's biceps don't have any peaks. Neither do Samson's, to be fair. Look at that condition. Carlos is this year's Horse MD for real. Thank you for the super chat yet again. But yeah, I see like a couple of these guys in the running. I'm going to do a comparison like this. Let me refresh my stream. Hold on before I go on a tangent. Okay. I see a couple of guys like this. You have Good Vito. You have Horse MD. You have Carlos Thomas Jr. And I would throw Nexilla in there, but he's just so good. He just kind of gets thrown up. But he doesn't compete. But let's just say that you have those 3. Horse, Good Vito, and Carlos Thomas Jr. Carlos is currently the worst out of all of them. Even worse than Horse MD. Like, at least Horse MD almost won a pro show last year. He was second to Akim. Oh man, whose back is worse? Good Vito's, Carlos Thomas Jr.'s, or Horse MD's? That's a comparison. That's a comparison I shall do. But man, whose back is worse? Horse MD, Carlos Thomas Jr., or Good Vito? Because Good Vito's back double is not very good. I'm speaking about the rear double specifically. Who's... Man. Honestly, probably Carlos, because he has the worst condition. I think Samson wins prejudging, not by much. I can see how the judges may spin it that way. I would disagree, though. Carlos needs to sacrifice size for more conditioning. For sure. For sure. He's short, so not even 10 pounds less won't make him look small. Yeah, I agree. Okay. Do they have another women's division after this? Probably. Good Vito has good definition. It's just flat. He has to add a lot more things. Yeah, they both have like... He's shredded. He's the most shredded. Horse has the best lower body. Carlos is probably the best back of the three, if you can believe that. But he has the worst condition. Horse is just thick without definition. He has no lats. And it's because he trains like shit. Have you ever seen Horse train? It's a bunch of... He's one of those guys that load up the leg press. Hold on. Hold on. And I know that's not back training, but it's like... If you're the type of dude to load up 900 pounds on the leg press and do it for half reps, that kind of feeds into other things as well. Maybe I think he stopped posting training. I don't know. We could take a look at the back now that we're here. Yeah. I hate his new muscle look. He has the insulin muscle look. It's not like he's like sickly looking. He just doesn't. It just looks like new muscle. But Carlos has the same issue, so it'll be a very good comparison when I do it. Okay, and then here we have the rear double. Somehow no, this is better than Carlos. If you include the entire pose with the better lower body, this is better than Carlos. Also, Horse MD would dwarf Carlos. Horse is like 6 foot tall. Carlos is like 5'2". Do you guys think Nick should have entered? You guys are saying Hottie should have entered. Do you guys think Nick Walker should have entered? What is that sound? Derek pulled ahead for sure. Yeah, maybe. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you can hug backstage, please, ladies. Come on. Nick wouldn't have done well here, in my opinion. Yeah. What does Nick even look like now, you know? I think he's going to look really good in his next show or really bad. There will be no in between. Oh, and then now we got a victory speech. Okay. Okay. But hopefully this gives some time to... Let's get some videos out. I want to see what... Okay, I just can't stop my... I just can't stop myself. I had to like my own comment because it's so unfathomably based. Unfathomably based. Top 5 easy? What? Are we someone that clearly just didn't watch the show? Needs more muscle maturity? Muscle maturity doesn't exist with this condition issue, yeah. Honestly, guys, does he look worse than Texas? Oh, I should refresh my stream. Okay. Well, here's Derek. We'll get to that in a second. But does Carlos look worse than Texas? Oh, here we go. Anyway. Eating a burger. Very interesting. No, there's a better video of Carlos in Texas. And you guys tell me, does... Where is it at? I know it's close. Okay. Does 2023 Texas look better than the Arnold Classic? Carlos's coach is Patrick Torr. Carlos looks a few weeks out, then dehydrated. It's a layer of fat with no pop. Yeah, I imagine that's probably how it went too. How many times do we see guys overcompensate with diuretics and a drying out protocol? And it's because to counteract that they're not in condition. And it's like a job of a coach is to know when it's fat and when it's water. Because flattening out a fat body is not going to be the move. It's better to just come in full, honestly. Anyway. Oh, okay. I'll turn back to this. Logan did get Best Poser Award. That's what that is. That's what the check says. Logan Franklin is the winner of the Best Poser Award. And that is Mike Ashley, first winner of the Arnold Classic, if I'm not mistaken. Is it Mike Ashley or is it Mike Christian? I think it's Mike Ashley. Okay. But very quickly to finish my point, where did Carlos look better at? And then we'll get into the classic physique. Here or here? I think this is a worse look. I gotta be honest, the skin texture and the sogginess is really bad. But anyway, I don't want to miss anything else. Carlos at Texas was more watery? I disagree. He looked bad here. If there's no music, I'll play the thing. But I think there is. Oh, I can't hear it. There is music, so I can't listen to it. But Jae-hoon Bang in 6th. That means Wesley did get 5th. Was that deserved? I would have had him in 6th. I thought Gaspari won the first Arnold. Oh, you're right. Maybe Mike Ashley won the year that Sean Ray was supposed to win. Maybe that's the asterisk I'm thinking of. Yeah, he won the Arnold Classic in 1990. That probably would have been the year. That Sean Ray was supposed to win, but got popped for the drug test, which was bullshit. Okay. So, that leaves 3rd and 4th, which are probably the most interesting ones. Does DeBull get 4th, or does Grego get 4th? I can see it go either way. The structure goes to Grego. The conditioning and the thickness goes to DeBull. Damn, the lower chest on that lady. Great development. I wasn't aware. Yo, that guy doesn't even train. Michael DeBull in 4th, so Grego is going to be 3rd. Big achievement for him. That puts him in the top 7 now at the Olympia, because DeBull was 7th at the Olympia, and I thought DeBull looked better here than he did at the Olympia. So Grego is going up. His trajectory is skyrocketing. Yep, you're right. That was the year Sean Ray was DQ'd. Yeah, I like to think I know a thing or two. Not really, though. I like the little trophies they give out at the Arnold. I really like those. I don't know if they also do the medals, but I'd rather have one of those crystal trophies than a medal, truth be told. Okay, and then Grego's going to be... For the amount of sponsors they want to get, they kind of have to go to some obscure places. Well, that guy looks like Josh Saunch from Bodybuilding News Network. Clarita has no adductors, hurts him in the front shots. Not sure why they say he has great legs. Great quads. All right. And is this going to be for second or first? I would play it, but... Okay, and then Logan Franklin in second. Damn, I thought those guys were going to kiss. It's kind of romantic. Logan Franklin is in second place in the Classic Physique division. And I think you all know what that means. Mike Sommerfeld he's done it all up until win the actual title of the Olympia. Never skips jaw day, for sure. Okay, but can I have Logan's barber? So true. Yeah, and then Mike Sommerfeld, if there was any doubt that he is heir to the Classic Physique throne, this has to dispel it. Yes, there are factors that he didn't face here. He didn't face an on Ramon Dino. He hasn't faced Rough Diesel in his comeback, which I don't think is a factor, but I'm going to mention it. But other than that, what hasn't he beat? What hasn't he done? Urs is not going to be Classic Physique Mr. Olympia. He shouldn't be. That's the case. So, okay. Question now. Does Mike Sommerfeld on beat Ramon Dino on? Those are the only two that I think have the potential to win it. Logan should be fifth at the O then, right? He beat DeBull, who was seventh, so he should be around Josema Beast. Josema Beast, or it's a Beast mode. Josema Beast. So he should be at least top 6 or 7th if he pushes DeBull out. So he's 7th. Yeah. So I don't know though. I think Logan kind of captured lightning in a bottle here. I got to be honest. If I were Logan, I would just try to put on his... Oh, but he has to qualify again. Damn. He needs to put on a lot more size. He needs more thickness in the back and in the side chest. His look will be rewarded if he just gets bigger. I would focus on any improvement I could possibly make and then pick an easy pro show. I'm not trying to prove anything. I'm trying to get to the Olympia. And then see if I can make top 5 this year. Mike over Ramon. Dino was overrated. Where did Wesley place last year? He was 8th at the Olympia. Mike is the next class, Mr. Olympia in Classic, probably. Mike has a better structure, but Ramon has better musculature and separation. Depends who was on that night. And you have to go, at this current moment, you have to go with Mike. Wesley had an awful year last year. Second at the Arnold. The Olympia showing was a disaster. And even that show after that he used to get a qualification was not that good. Can I...
spot to 6-time Classic Physique Olympia champion Chris Bumstead. Although we had Wesley returning here to Columbus as last year's champion, that runner-up spot at the Olympia somewhat put you in the driver's seat for tonight's show. Tell us how it feels to be an Arnold Classic champion.
Amazing. For one simple, big reason. Today, we were able to prove that work is necessary to create something beautiful. And as you put in the work, you're dedicated, you're passionate, life can be great. This is what we proved today.
Now, Mike, of course, Logan going home with their Best Poser award, but you've been known for the beautiful craft that you do with your posing routines, and you very much, like Arnold said for so many years, take your posing as an art form. You did a phenomenal job at Prejudging today, put on a wonderful show for our audience here tonight. Talk to us about what posing in Classic Physique means for you, because you do it just about as good as anybody that we've ever seen.
You got one chance on stage to show your physique and the beauty and the flow. And you need to make sure that these seconds on stage, all eyes on you, are the best you can create. You need to create a story. You need to show your strength. And if you are able to create emotions in the audience, that's the magic.
All right, now before we wrap it up here tonight, is there anybody you'd like to thank out there in the audience or watching at home across the globe?
Yes, first of all, my sponsors, but most importantly, my wife, because she's spending literally every second with me. We move to different countries and we're switching the countries every second or third week. She's always by my side. And I can guarantee you, I would not have won the show without her. She had a harder prep than me. And of course, Mr. Yoda Neil Hill, my coach, you have no idea. He checked me at least 10 times every day. He made an incredible job. And I can see him right now sitting there, sweating, being excited, and I can't wait to meet those guys right now.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, let's give one more big round of applause for our Classic Physique champion.
Okay, so, yeah, I don't think Mike places top 10 in open. Man, Mike, Thomas Jackson says, man, Mike has real no weaknesses. His chest is a little undersized, but really that's nitpicking. He's a super cool guy. Yeah, I say hamstrings and adductors. Again, that's nitpicking, though. Yo, the tan on the white blazer? Come on, Mike. Come on. Also, actually, why would she wear a white blazer to this event? Awful choice. Awful choice. But anyway. We'll do one more check. If there's anything else out there, I want to take a look at it from the open. If not, we'll go about the day. We'll go about the night. I'll see you tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time if you guys are heading off now. Here's an interesting comparison. Yeah, I don't think Samson was that much worse. Maybe a little bit softer than the Olympia. But it's a matter of Derek getting better. And also, Samson's win was not a perfect score. And Samson is the master of his own destiny. Just get into condition and you win every show. Because the judges want to reward that structure. I have no sympathy. Man, that's kind of rude. Yeah, let's take a look at this. These guys are killing it. I should follow them. Here is Derek. Yeah, you can see how peeled Derek is. Like, the stream may have been helping him over the other darker guys, but you can see how much more peeled Derek is. We don't even need to look at Samson yet, but we will. We'll take a look at Samson as well. Yeah. He's just on. I think the legs got a little bit fuller. She's a baddie. Guys, please. She's a Low tier Becky. High tier Becky at the most. This is the best Derek. Yeah, probably. Keon should have entered. True, because he's not losing the Olympia. Let's be honest. He's not losing the Olympia. What does he have to lose here? And also, I may have been a Derek hater for all of 2024, but I am... Look, I defended him at the 2023 Olympia. I was fine with him getting third. I may have... Maybe Martin should have placed ahead of him, but Derek was hella improved at the 2024 Olympia, and no one said anything about that. In fact, a lot of people think 2023 was better, and I said, no way. No way. No way. But now, I have to be a Derek disciple. How can you not be? How can you not be? He shows up when it counts. Mike Mogser. See you tomorrow, guys. Atheist Nihilist. I will see you tomorrow. 7 p.m. No morning stream tomorrow. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, let's look at Samson's. Mike Mogser. Yeah. He's just... It's the thicker skin. Second to reclaim the title? I think it's so close right now, that's certainly possible. You know, Samson can get better at shows. Like, when he does back-to-back shows, he gets better. But when there's a little bit of time in between shows, he often doesn't. Like, if you look at the 2024 Arnold Classic, he did Romania and then Prague at the 2023 Olympia. Got better at both. Had a little bit of time off and then did the 2024 Arnold. Couldn't regroup. But then he got better at the Arnold UK. So the shows need to be back-to-back in order for him to do well. An awkward amount of time, it leaves him vulnerable for some reason. I don't know what it is. Well. Look who it is in chat, everyone. Please, flame him. Flame him. He has decided to show his face. And it's brave. I'll give him that. But crazy that you got to be a super jack, top tier classic Chad light bodybuilder to pull off a mid tier Becky. Hoflation is insane. Hoflation is literally insane. That's the thing. If you go and look on Tinder, everyone is gym maxing. That's the bare minimum. Everyone is gym maxing. But anyway. EP missed it by that much. Who we flaming? Please flame EP09 bodybuilder. Take him to the center of town and stone him to death. Actually, no, don't do that. That was a joke. I forgot I'm on YouTube. Probably shouldn't say that. Stone him to moderate discomfort, all in good fun, of course. Samson is a perpetual grower. I know a thing or two about that. Anyway, just keeps getting bigger and bigger. I just don't understand. Yeah, it is interesting. At some point, he should probably stop. Samson is bigger than the Olympia and needs to get back in better condition. Yeah. I'm bigger than all of you. IDGAF. Please. If there's no more footage, I'm going to stop the show, even though EP has decided to provide some entertainment for us. Dylan, send me Galaxy Gas. I know you got him. I know you got him to spare. That's how I made my predictions. When I'm off the Galaxy Gas, I see into a different dimension than all of you mere mortals. That's the thing. Okay. Gilco took like an hour to get the, or half an hour to get the classic physique out, so I imagine we won't get too much. Damn, that's tough. I've never heard of her. Who is this EP? Oh. That's good. Man, if only Carlos put in as much effort with his actual posing that he did with his tongue, he may have beat Samson here. He may have beat Samson. But anyway, let's end this on a positive note. And positive for me, of course. It was Carlos. Did Carlos bring an overall better package? We didn't really answer this earlier. I know I asked it earlier, but I want a more concrete answer from you guys. There's 99 of you in chat. I'll put out a poll. Vote in this on your way out the door. Okay, was Carlos better in 2023 Texas Pro or 2025? I think he's like, I don't know, he looks softer overall. And I know like, he's probably smaller in 2023, of course, but just the tightness of the skin, even though he's like not that much sharper, I would say 2023 is the better package. He looks pretty much the same. Maybe. Texas was a more polished look, says Goat Fitness. Yeah, I would agree. I don't know what's going on with these arms and delts and the chest. It's just oddly smooth. The back, there's no reason for that. Like someone said in the chat, I think, it's like he had a layer of fat, but also pushed at the very end for like a dryness protocol, maybe some diuretics. I don't know about that because he has UC. So now you're just fat and flat. Not a very good combo. Not a very good combo. So please tell me, was Carlos better in 2023 or 2025? Please vote. Please vote. Different lighting, better back double. Do you guys smell that? It's hopium and copium. Can you believe that? Hopium and copium. Come on, man. Come on. So, dick to your crack. Tell me Carlos was better in 2025. Smells like semen. Yeah, it has a similar scent. Okay. I think we can go ahead and end the poll. Out of our 14 votes, it is a decisive that 2025 was better, but what do you all know? Will you show men's physique? No. No. I love Ali Bilal, but not a fan of the whole division. So, tomorrow, to be honest, Carlos's last performance was pretty forgettable, as is this package, true. So tomorrow night, I'll be going live the same time I did this night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be going live tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be back here. Subscribe so you don't miss that. Turn on notifications. I'll have the stream uploaded pretty soon, so you can just go to the stream and hit turn on notifications so you know when I'm going live. That's really helpful. And then also, no, I don't think I had anything else to say. Yeah, that's it. So hit the like button, subscribe on your way out the door, and I'll see most of you tomorrow. Capiche? All right. I'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you guys for tuning in.